So I tried to buy a new guitar this week, and it didn't go so well. I've had like a week of waiting and raging, and it just hasn't worked out in my favour. So about 2 weeks ago, I think it was around the 17th or the 18th, I was on waltons.com and I found this guitar, and it was a hollow body Epiphone, wildcat royale, and I said, oh my god, this is the sexiest guitar I've ever seen, I have to get this guitar. And I've been in the market for an electric guitar anyway, because I wanted to change up my sound a bit. Oh god, I sound like a cunt. And so I was like, okay, I want this guitar, but I want to play it first, so I'm not going to order it online. And so that weekend came, and I was busy then. And so the following weekend I was in London, and so I went to this road with a ton of music shops called Dawson Street. And so I went in there and I was looking at guitars, and then I looked through the window of one shop, and I saw it. I saw my guitar on the back wall, in its gorgeous white and gold finish, and it was looking as majestic as hell. And so I was like, oh, I have to go in there and I have to play it. And so I tried to go in, and they were filming an ad or video or something, so they were like, well, you can come back at 3. But I had a flight to catch, so I couldn't come back at 3. And so my sister was like, oh, we can come back, we can wait a bit and we can get lunch. And I was like, no, honestly, it's fine, I'll play it next weekend. Because I was planning to buy it the next weekend. And so the next weekend came, and Saturday morning came, and I said to my parents, can you bring me into town? They said yes, and so I go into the shop, and I see my guitar on the wall, and I very pacefully walk towards it, and I take it down, and I feel like I've won the Champions League or something, because it's so gorgeous, and it just feels right. It's lighter than I thought it would be, and it's just the perfect guitar. So I take it down, and I begin to play it, and then I notice all the problems with it. So there were a lot of scratches. It had been overplayed, the strings seemed a bit weak. The whammy bar was the main problem. What had happened was it was just too loose, and so it was dropping down every time you tried to play it, or you tried to use it. And so I came over and I was like, oh, can you fix this? Can you tighten this? Knowing very well that they could. The girl, who didn't seem to know a lot about guitars, was like, oh, yeah, I just let me check. And so she comes back with a guy named Mick, who, in all fairness, was a very nice guy. And so he came back, and he was like, oh yeah, no buddy, it'd just take me 2 minutes, to just have to go tighten this thing. So about 15 minutes later, we're waiting in the shop. And I'm like, oh, did you fix it? He comes back to me, and he's like, well, I've been loosening and tightening it for like 2 minutes, and just nothing's happening, it's not going either way, so there's this the threads in it are gone. I didn't really understand this at that point, and I was like, oh, And so he was like, well, I can have it for you on Monday. And I was extremely just heartbroken at this, because I had it in my head, I was so excited, I was going to town, I was going to get my new guitar, and I had a gig the next Friday, and so I went in, and so I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine, honestly. And he was like, yeah, so I'll ring on Monday and have it fixed. So Monday came, and there was no phone call, so I was in school, so I had to get my mum to ring, and she rang, and they knew nothing about it. And so she was like, oh, well, Mick said he was repairing it, and she didn't get through to Mick because he wasn't working that day. And then Tuesday came, and she rang again, and she got on to Mick. And so he was like, oh, yeah, no, it's a bigger job than I thought it would be, so I have to get another part in. He didn't say what the bigger job was. It's a bigger job than I thought it would be, so I have to get another part in, it won't be around till Friday. At that point, I had had enough. I was so fed up oh, my brain was just gone. But I didn't have time on Tuesday to ring them up myself. So on Wednesday I rang up and I was like, look, I'm really pissed off. This has like ruined my week completely. You're being rude to my family, you're not ringing me back and stuff. So I was like, can you order me this guitar new? And they said, yes, maybe. But what they were going to do is they were going to ring Epiphone and get back to me on Thursday. Or they're going to ring me or my mum on Thursday. Thursday came, they didn't ring. And the reason they didn't try to get a new guitar is because they knew if they couldn't sell this broken guitar, they weren't going to sell it. And so Thursday came, they didn't ring, and Friday came, they didn't ring. And so Saturday, I rang up and I was like, listen, do you have the new guitar? And the guy who was talking was like, oh yeah, I think we just got a new one in. And then I got talking to Mick, and he was like, well, it's the old one. So I said to him, oh, that's pretty good, but I wanted a new one. He was like, well, come in and play this and see what you think. And so I went in and I played it, and it was a great guitar. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is the guitar I wanted. But it still had a lot of the problems. The whammy bar was fixed, but it was still scratched and buffed all over. So I went off and I came back and I was like, well, I'll take it. But is there any way I can get a discount because of this? because it had to be repaired and because they had to break parts of it. And so he was like, well, yeah, let me just go check in the back. And in all fairness to him, Mick was the only nice guy there. Everyone else was horribly unhelpful and rude. And so then he came back and he was like, oh, yeah, we can give you 10% off. So I got a €335 guitar for like €302. Oh god, don't kill me. It was just over €300. I don't have a calculator on me right now. And I came out with my guitar. I think you can see now why I wanted it so much. It is the most perfect looking guitar I have ever seen in my life. It's just the perfect guitar. I love it so much. And so yeah, you can look forward to some really bad covers in the future. I hope you enjoyed my extremely stressful story. Now I seem fine about it because I actually have the guitar and it's in pretty good nick. But during the week I was so mad. I almost lost sleep for one night because of it. Not like hours, like half an hour of sleep, just because I was sitting in my room and I fucking hate them. And basically I won't be going back to Walton's again. Because they were rude to me, they were rude to my family. And it was just very, very bad service. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And my name has been Harley and I'll see you guys some other time. See ya.